Hey, what's going on, guys? It's me, Aiden, from Cartoon Apocalypse, and today the season finale for Amphibia came out, and it was a pretty good finale. So this video is going to be talking about it, my thoughts about the finale itself, and then for the future of the show, where it's headed, but I do have a little bit of news for Amphibia. Disney Television Animation News tweeted out saying, #Amphibia's Chapter 1 is now over, but the journey has just begun, because this August don't miss on at Disney Channel's YouTube channel, Teen Girl in a Frog World, a series of shorts starring Anne and the Planter family. So basically, what this is saying is that Amphibia is going to be getting its own little spin-off short. Now, I don't think it's going to have anything to do with plot. It's just going to be very simply, fun little animated shorts of just like little comedic things that happen just, like we've been seeing, except just on a smaller scale. So that's going to be cool. They're coming this August. So yeah, I look forward to watching those. But now let's go ahead and talk about the finale itself, because there were some things in here that I expected to see, and then some things that I wasn't expecting, or things that I was expecting that didn't actually happen. So at the very beginning of the finale, we got a little cutscene of Anne and Sasha back home the day that they were actually transported, and that day happened to be Anne's birthday, and that's kind of a bad birthday, being transported to Amphibia. But yeah, basically this illustrated Anne's and Sasha's relationship that they had back on Earth. And this is exactly the type of relationship that I thought it would be. Sasha kind of bossing around Anne, and Anne didn't do anything because she didn't want to lose her friends, and that's exactly how I thought their relationship was. And you can go back to my very first video I ever did talking about Amphibia, and that's basically what I said. I said that that's how the relationship was, and it turns out that I was right on that. Now, one thing that I was not expecting was that Hop Pop actually started this whole revolution thing. I just thought that toads were against frogs, and that's just because they thought that they weren't paying taxes, etc. So this really came as a surprise to me, finding out that Hop Pop was actually behind something bigger. Now, I'll talk about the future of Amphibia later, but I do feel like this new image of Hop Pop that we have is going to play a role a lot in Season 2, and I'll talk about that more in a bit. But I thought I'd mention one thing that I was expecting that we didn't see. Actually, we didn't see these characters at all, was Maddie and her father. We didn't see any of those characters. And that really surprised me, because a couple episodes ago we saw Maddie and some of her development, and I thought, okay, that's actually going to have some use in the finale. But no, it didn't. And I was honestly surprised by that, because, I don't know, maybe there will be something with that in Season 2, like maybe Maddie will accompany the Planters on their little journey in Season 2, I don't know. But basically, I was surprised to see that Maddie was not actually at all in this finale, so that was interesting. Now, one thing that I theorized in the video that I uploaded yesterday was that Anne would have to go up against Sasha, and this is exactly what happened. And in the video yesterday there was a poster, and basically I was kind of describing that, and basically everything that I described pretty much happened. Anne was victorious, and yeah, she was sad that she had to go against her friend, but that's what she had to do, and that's what's good. It's just what's best for both of them. So yeah, that's kind of what I thought was going to happen, and it's what happened. So I was able to predict a decent amount, and I love being able to predict things, because, I don't know, it just feels good, because, you're like, oh, hey, I did expect that. But the problem is I've gotten pretty good at that, and then I just kind of can assume what's going to happen and everything now, and it's kind of sad, but that's alright. So at the very end of the finale, Anne tried to catch Sasha when she was falling off of the falling down tower, and then Sasha was just like, alright, nope, maybe you're better on without me. And I feel like that this was a moment that Sasha realized that she was like, I don't know how to put it, maybe like being a bad friend. I don't know if that's the best way to put it, or maybe Sasha was just doing that. I don't know, there's really no reason for her to do that if she was really still against Anne, but I do feel like that since she was saved by Grime, she's gonna come back kinda angry. And yeah, so basically she and Grime and a couple other of the toads, we only saw a couple other ones, but there could definitely be others, they walked off into the distance, and obviously this was a big blow. They lost their home base, and they're gonna have to regroup and stuff like that. But I think that for the main focus of Season 2, or at least the first half of it, it's gonna be exploring and trying to figure out a way off of Amphibia. We've had this big climax with the toads, and I think that that's kind of where we're gonna wrap this up for a little bit. Not like completely wrap it up, but just for this main start of this show, it's gonna end here for a little bit, and then it's gonna start to pick back up, just because that's kind of how things go. They, there's the climax, and then they start to fall, and then they start to rise up again. That's just how things kind of work. So I think for the future of this show, they even talked about it at the very end of this episode. They said that they'd try to find a way for Anne to get home. So I think that with all this preparation that we've seen before earlier on in this season, they will start to go out and explore different towns and things like that. Speaking of other towns, we actually got to see a map from when Sasha was explaining this whole thing to Anne. We saw a map of all the different towns, and it looks like there's 4 main towns, and then obviously the Toad Tower. So I think throughout season 2, the characters are going to be exploring these different towns. Well, there's 3 left. They've already done Wartwood, so there's going to be a couple others that they're going to explore and just try to find a way for Anne to, get out. Now, normally this kind of thing would be a little unreasonable, and the reason for that is simply because how are they going to live? How is Anne, Hop Pop, Sprig, and Polly all going to survive when they go out? Because if they go to their towns, how are they they're going to have to stay at hotels. They can't just sleep out nowhere. So how are they going to do this? Well, that's where this whole new Hop Pop rebellion things come into play, because since all the towns know about Hop Pop and how he's this big idol and starting all of this rebellion stuff, when they travel to the new towns and things, they're going to be treated to these hotels and things because, all the town respects him and they think, oh, this guy's a good guy, we're going to let him stay at these places because, he needs help. So I think that that's why this was introduced as a thing, because they didn't have to unless that they were going to do something in the future, because, we honestly weren't expecting that. I don't think. I wasn't expecting to see that. But it makes sense from a story perspective, simply because Hop Pop is going to have to have money, and since he doesn't really have very much money, how is he going to actually go out and travel? So that's kind of why I think that was a thing, and that's where I think season 2 is headed as far as what they're going to be doing, or at least during the first half. The first half, I think they're going to be going out exploring, and then season 2 I expect we will meet up with Marcy as well, because we haven't seen anything from her pretty much. So that's, we might actually see something about her in the first episode as well, similar to what we saw with Sasha in the very first episode, just a quick little 30-second clip at the end of the episode. I don't know, but I do think that there will be something as far as Anne trying to find Marcy, because we still don't exactly know how Marcy is. We have seen how Sasha is and how she can be very persuasive and just kind of bossy, but we don't really know how Marcy is. So I don't know if she's going to be more like Sasha or Anne, but we will have to figure out kind of where she stands, and if Anne's going to go looking for Marcy, and if Marcy will actually cooperate, or if she'll try to find Sasha instead, etc. So that's kind of where I think we're headed with season 2. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for me. If you did enjoy, you can leave a like and subscribe for more content similar to this. I will see you in the next video, whenever that is, and yeah, so I'll talk to you guys later. Goodbye.
Right, we're not doing it.